Do you love tight spaces? Do you like traveling on a budget? Do you constantly have people asking you, why don't you get something you can stand up in? You live in that? If so, you probably own a micro camper. Micro campers come in all shapes and sizes. There are car campers, SUV campers, and even minivans, which is what I currently have. I am right now inside of my Ram ProMaster City, which is about the same size as a mid-size SUV. I spent days scouring the web, reading endless product descriptions, trying to find items that would fit in my tiny little home. If you're just using your camper for quick little one-night camping trips, you might not need some of this stuff. But if you're gonna be taking extended road trips or living in it full-time like I am, the stuff I'm gonna show you is going to be a godsend. Also, if you live in a micro camper and have any suggestions for things that you cannot live without, please leave them in the comments for me or for others who might be currently living in or building out their miniature rig. And one more thing, just so you know, this video is not sponsored by anyone. Well, it's sponsored by me because I bought all of this. But yes, I purchased all of this with my own money. It has been tried, tested, true, and is Alyssa Vanilla approved. Without further ado, I will go ahead and start with number 1, a tiny fridge. Having refrigerated food while traveling for an extended amount of time will increase your quality of life tenfold. When I lived in my car, I didn't have refrigeration and it sucked. This is the absolute smallest compressor fridge I could find. This tiny little fridge is 8 liters and it's actually supposed to go in your center console, but for me it fits perfectly in the tiny space behind my driver's seat at the foot of my bed. The fridge is small, yes, but it's a small van. Honestly, I was thankful to find any fridge that fit in this space. Being able to keep things like yogurt, hummus, etc. really helps with meals and also keeps me from eating out so much. Any other fridge would simply not fit anywhere in here without taking up an enormous amount of space, which I don't have. And a bonus of having such a small fridge is that it actually takes less power to run than a normal sized compressor fridge. Now, just a quick tip, some of you may be thinking, wait a minute, I've definitely seen a smaller fridge. Those are not compressor fridges, those are thermoelectric coolers, and those things suck. They only cool below ambient temperature to a certain degree. So basically, if you're anywhere warm or if it gets hot inside the car, it's not gonna do shit. Just a heads up. Number 2, small water storage. I feel like this one is greatly overlooked because we all need water to survive. But water is also extremely heavy and bulky. I store my water in these. They are extremely compact. They fit anywhere. You can stash multiple of these around your vehicle and have a good amount of water. I store 2 of these right next to the wheel well. They fit perfectly. And I didn't plan this. I actually used these in my old van, but I did know that they were going to fit in this van because they fit literally anywhere. They hold 5 liters of water each, so a little over a gallon. And when both of them are full, I have over 2.5 gallons of water with me, which is plenty for the type of traveling that I do. There are, of course, exterior options to mount extra water to the outside of your vehicle, but if you want something quick and accessible for the inside of the vehicle, this is what I would use. Number 3, a custom size bed. So obviously in a mini build, you are not going to find a pre-made mattress that fits perfectly. My advice is to get a foam mattress of your choice and cut it to size with an electric carving knife. It's quick, it's easy. I showed how I do it in my last video. It is 100% the best option. You can control how thick you want it, how wide it's gonna be. For my bed, I got a 3-inch queen size mattress topper, and then I folded it in half, and then I just trimmed it with a carving knife until I got the perfect fit for my bed. My bed frame is 24 by 72, which is 2 feet by 6 feet, but with the mattress on top, it's actually about 30 by 80, which is the perfect amount of space for a 5'6" woman. That's the great thing about having a customizable bed. You can customize it to your liking. And as a little bonus tip to throw in with this one, if you want to find a small fitted sheet just look up cot-sized fitted sheet. I currently have one right now on my bed, and I'm so glad that I just bought one because honestly, I don't even think I could make one if I had to. They should have never done away with home ec. It's much more convenient to just buy it. Mine was like $7 and 100% worth every penny. This next one definitely ties into number 3, but I feel like it's one of those things that is definitely overlooked when doing a micro build. Number 4, appropriate sized blankets. Blankets are large and unwieldy. They take up a lot of space and they will quickly consume your whole vehicle if you're not careful. If I had a normal size comforter in here, it would be so bulky. I wanted a nice clean look to my van without having to sacrifice using real blankets to sleep with. Sleeping bags are fine, they're warm and they work well, but with this being my full-time house, I wanted my van to look like a home and not like a tent. What I found works best for me are oversized throw blankets, which are usually 60 by 80 inches long. My bottom light blanket is a twin size, it's 66 by 90, and then my top chunky cable knit blanket is 60 by 80, which is the oversized throw size. In retrospect, I would have done both the oversized throw size. It's plenty of blanket for my bed, and the twin is honestly a little bit too big. I definitely have to tuck a lot of it under my mattress, and it's fine because it's thin, but if it was any thicker, it would just be too bulky. 60 by 80 fits perfect. When I sleep, I am completely covered at night, and these are also both 100% cotton, so it's warm, natural, breathable fabric. I do have a packable down alternative blanket stored on the side for those nights that it gets extra cold, but I haven't had to use it yet. If you are gonna be somewhere cold, I highly suggest making sure you have something to provide extra warmth in bed when you sleep. That could be an extra blanket, an extra human, an extra animal, whatever it may be, just please don't freeze. And last but not least, a small heat source. So yes, this one is for cold weather, but I'm pretty sure everyone who lives in a vehicle has experienced cold nights, no matter where you are. This little thing is freaking sick. It is a Kovea handysun heater. It runs off of backpacking fuel, aka isobutane, and it works like a champ. First of all, you can see the size. It fits basically anywhere. This will fit in a minivan, it'll fit in an SUV, it'll even fit in a car. Having gas heat in a small space can be kind of scary, but I just want to reassure you, I did it all last winter in a carpeted van, and I kept my heater on the floor, on the carpet. But I never burnt anything down. If you watched my winter essentials video last year, I showed my Kovea Cupid heater. It's slightly larger, but it does run off of butane, which is sometimes an easier fuel to find. But this one is the absolute smallest gas heater I could find. And the stove that I use already takes this kind of fuel, so it's nice to condense my fuel sources and just carry around one. They're made in Korea, so I kind of took a gamble on ordering it because I could find no reviews of this thing basically anywhere. There are a few on YouTube, but I think they're in Russian and I don't speak Russian. Blit! So here's my quick review. It works. It puts out the perfect amount of heat and takes up such a minimal amount of space. It's got piezo ignition. It's pretty much perfect. Obviously, if you're gonna be burning gas in a vehicle or any small space, please have a carbon monoxide detector. I've used basically all kinds of heater in my small vans. I used a buddy heater, which put out way too much heat. Even on the lowest setting, it felt like everything in my van was gonna catch on fire. Also, the buddy heater itself is pretty large and it puts out wet heat. And of course, the Kovea Cupid heater did work great. I was just looking to find the smallest heater possible, that way I could maximize my storage space. And I am very happy with my little handysun. I'm gonna throw in a bonus because every time I use this in a video, I get comments about it. This here is my little backpacking stove. It's called a Fire Maple. I think it's basically an off-brand Jetboil, but I've used it for years now. And I even have this little pan with the folding handle by the same company. So that way, if I want to make something other than liquid, if I want to make eggs for breakfast or something, can still do that. So that is it. Those are my recommendations for a micro build. I will have every single thing that I listed in this video in the description. Hopefully you found some of this useful. If you have any questions at all, ask in the comments and I will try to answer. And if I can't, I have very knowledgeable subscribers that probably can. I hope you're all doing well this season, and to my lovely, wonderful, amazing subscribers, I hope y'all had a happy Thanksgiving. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Thank you for being my online family and for sticking with me every step of the way, especially through this transition. I love you, and I will see you in the next one.